I'm speaking with Raufeon Stots, is going to take on Ryan Lilley in the main event of LFA 48. That goes September 7th in Kearney, Nebraska. Thanks so much for doing this.
Oh, no problem, man.
So let's jump off with this fight. Main event, like I said, big fight. LFA returning to its roots of where RFA started, etc. How long have you known about this fight? It was just announced a couple days ago, but how long have you known about this?
I think I've known about this like 2.5 weeks,
Oh,
maybe.
okay. And what was your initial reaction to getting the news of the headlining spot and fighting Ryan, etc.?
I didn't even know if I was headlining or not. I just knew, I knew that I had a fight with Ryan Lilley, which I knew was a big fight.
Mm-hmm.
The headlining. When I found out when they announced it, and I was, super ecstatic, super excited. You know what I'm saying? Ready to go.
So let's talk about Ryan then. He's kind of being pumped up as a heavy-handed fighter. What's your take on him? Do you know much about him?
Yeah, I know he's got a good right hand. He's a fighter that has had a lot of fights. So he's pretty poised. He's pretty good. He's a good opponent, man, and looking forward to proving that I'm better.
You're someone who's had a lot of attention the last few years, really, and this is a big fight for you. You're coming off that comeback. You got back on the winning track in your last outing. What do you think this, if you go out there and you beat Ryan, like I said, we're talking about the fact it's the main event spot, it's going to be broadcast on Access TV. What does this fight mean for your career, do you think?
Man, these are the fights, kind of fights I need, just to get my name back into the mix, I see some people getting signed, which I feel like I should be getting signed over, but I realize I haven't fought in a while. I haven't fought since December, so I'm looking forward to get back in the mix. Looking forward to reminding people why I'm so excited.
Yeah, let's jump back to the loss to Merab. It was on Dana White's
Yeah.
looking for a fight show. The consensus was that the winner would move on to the UFC. That was the first loss of your career. What was that experience like? And like we said, like I noted, you're back on track again. But was it tough for you to rebound from that? Talk a little bit about that process.
It wasn't tough for me to kind of bounce back. It was tough. It was tough just hearing, that oh hey, you still got it, or has anything changed? When for me nothing really changed.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really. I got caught and I made a mistake, and I learned from it. I learned to everybody's good at something. Everybody comes out with that nervous energy, and I have to be ready to fight from bell to bell, like literally from bell to bell. And that was a lesson I was gonna have to learn eventually. So it's good for me to learn it early. But yeah, and coming back, I just had to keep faith in myself, keep believing in myself, and be confident in the fact that stuff's gonna happen, but I'm prepared. I'm prepared for a lot of it, and I'm prepared to make changes I need to make to be the best fighter I can be.
You mentioned guys getting signed over. Were you referring specifically to the UFC or organizations like Bellator?
I was specifically to the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a couple people signed, which I feel like I should be signed over. But then again, I also gotta keep into account that I had my shot to be signed earlier, and I didn't take advantage. So I can't knock anybody else for getting an opportunity and taking advantage. So
When you're
it is what it is.
when you're in the kind of position that you're in, and I've talked to a lot of fighters in that kind of position where there's buzz, talk about moving to the UFC, and because of the heavy schedule now that the UFC is holding, it seems like a lot of times that call comes as an injury replacement. Is that something that you're cognizant of, and has that changed how you prepare year round, or not so much? Have you always been a guy who
Yeah,
can
no,
jump in?
I'm always. I stay in the gym.
Yeah.
The only thing I change for fight camp is I just add a little more, and I change my eating habits a little bit. But I'm always pretty much in shape. I don't get too far out because I'm trying to be the best, or I'm training, to be a champion, a world champion. So I got stuff to work on, I got stuff to improve on. So I'm always in there.
LFA is interesting because it's headed up by Ed Suarez, who we all know one of the more accomplished managers and really like an established promoter too. And the LFA
Yeah.
has certainly provided talent to the UFC. You fought for Victory Fighting Championship, which was on Fight Pass. So do you look at this opportunity as something that UFC brass is watching, and do you think if you score a big win that can lead to a contract offer, or do you have a deal in place with LFA? How's that work?
Exactly. I think the LFA is, they're the most prominent UFC feeder. And that was one of one of the ideas behind signing with them. They have a lot of eyes on them. They've been around for a long time, and they're successful in what they do. So, that's one of the reasons I'm signing to get the right eyes on me. And there's no better spot in the main event to get those bright eyes to see what they're missing in the UFC.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the other part of this too is it's tough for you guys to fight at 135, 145, 155 because there's such stacked divisions in the UFC. I mean,
it is.
If it was heavyweight or light heavyweight, we'd probably be having a different conversation.
You say what?
Well, if this was, if you fought at 185 or light heavyweight, you'd probably already be in the UFC.
Yeah, or I've seen on the Contender Series, Dana White was like, we are in desperate need of 205ers,
Yeah.
We are. I am in one of the most stacked divisions. They got a lot of contenders, a lot of guys. So, and I think, and I talked to my manager, and that was one of the one of the reasons that I haven't got signed yet, just because they need to make room. But yeah, hopefully this will help my case.
Let's jump back and talk about the fight with Ryan. We know that he's got some heavy hands. You're someone who's got that decorated wrestling background. You train out of Roufusport. The striking's on point. So when you approach these kinds of fights, and when there's so much on the line, Raufeon, do you look at it as, hey, I need to score an emphatic victory, or I just need to score the win? And yet, I know you don't want to give away too much of your strategy, but will we possibly see the wrestling at play in this fight?
Well, I'm the way I fight. I fight pretty much everybody. If you open up an opportunity, I'm gonna take you down. If not, if you show me other certain reactions, I'm gonna take advantage. So I don't too much like game plan for one person. I'm just kind of creating my fight style, my as I go. Depending on the reaction they give me, right? And I feel like my wrestling opens up my striking. If you run away from my wrestling, you'll run into my striking. If you run away from my striking, you'll run into my wrestling. So, and I'm getting ever better on the ground. So, that's kind of my mix of techniques that I use.
So for people who aren't familiar with sort of the roots of your MMA career, did you go to Roufusport right out of the gate? And if not, even if you did, talk about the process to decide to go there. Was it because of the fact that they have, obviously Duke Roufus, a legend in striking, one of the best striking coaches in the world? Was that part of your decision process?
Yeah, so I started when I first started. You mean when I first started?
Yeah.
When I first started, I started in Kearney, Nebraska, with Jens Pover.
Ah, okay.
He was starting a gym there. So he did a gym there, and he asked me to help out with wrestling. And so I came to help out with wrestling, and he got me to do kickboxing and jiu-jitsu. And then he eventually got me to do a fight, like a month or two or something. And then after that, the gym kind of fell apart, and then we went to Jens asked me to go to Iowa with him. So me and Jens drove up to Iowa, where I trained at Pat Militage's gym with some of those guys at Pat Militage's gym, and he would come every now and then. He was doing the commentating a lot, so he wouldn't be there every day. But when he come home, he'd work with us and stuff. And so then I was looking to, I was feeling like I was kind of outgrowing the gym. So I was looking to move somewhere. And then Pat Milicic told me if I should move anywhere, I should move to Duke Roufus's gym, and that's the first time I heard of Duke Roufus. Was from Pat Miletich, and he told me, yeah, they got a good thing going there. You fit in well there, and yeah, so I went out there, and then I tried it out. I did I think an amateur class, you know, and then I was kind of same thing. I felt like I was handling everybody amateur, and then Daniel Wanderlei actually, the professor, the BJJ professor, he went to go with me and tapped me like 3 times, and that was the most times I've been tapped him out. Like in a round, like effortlessly too. And I was like, you know what? I gotta go back. I gotta be there. You know, I'm pretty sure they can whoop me striking, but if I can get out grapple too, I gotta be there. And yeah, so then I started. So when I was an amateur, I went out there, and then I came back, you know, to get my stuff, and I had a fight, like my first professional fight, and then I came out there right after.
Yeah, and I should add that, I mean, you've got Duke Roufus, the gym's named after him, and his background in striking is, of course, well documented, but it's a complete gym. I mean, you've got the jiu-jitsu program with black belts instructing there. You've got top-level Ben Askren, one of the greatest grapplers in the game, out there as well. So, I mean, and we've seen Anthony Pettis, you know, just his submission skills, it's really just a world-class gym. It's far from just a striking, specialized camp.
For sure.
So when you mentioned that you got the word on this fight a couple of weeks ago, I mean, how long have you been? Did you kick into high gear for camp right away? Were you already sort of in high gear? Did you see it on the horizon?
I was ready just because I was training for like that fight that Ryan Lilley took or whatever. Mm-hmm. I was supposed to fight. But the dude didn't want to. I was a different matchup than he wanted, or something. They said it wasn't the matchup they wanted, but then they picked Ryan Lilley. So I was training for that, you know, and but it was like a short notice fight. And then also, you know, I'm staying ready just because I know, like where I'm at, I can't really afford if I want to take advantage of an opportunity, I can't really afford to take too much time off.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned your last fight was in December. Has it just been tough this whole time getting a fight? Did you have some injuries? And I'm guessing too, it's probably been tough.
Getting a fight. Also, I had a kid,
nice.
And I wanted to kind of be there for him.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then also, I was supposed to, or I was told that I was a sure shot for the Contender Series, and so I had a fight. I had a fight LFA back in maybe March or something. I forget when it was. But yeah, I had a fight, and then they thought I was going to get on a Contender Series, so somebody must have told them that I was on the Contender Series, so they pulled me from the fight. And the Contender Series ended up not happening, and then the fight ended up not happening. So then that was like a couple months wasted. And then, yeah, and then, you know, just trying to find fights and not finding opponents that would fight, stuff like that.
It's got to be tough, I'm guessing. I mean, depending on someone's financial situation, but if you haven't fought in a while and then you get the call, hey, we're looking at you for Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series, you guys don't get paid for those fights, right? So it's got to be kind of tough. I mean, yeah, of course, you go in, you get the win, you get the contract, but if you haven't fought in a while, I would imagine some guys got to think, like, hey, do I really want to, you know, turn down a paid fight and take this fight? Well, what if I get injured? Or,
and that was I don't know what the situation was, but I thought I was like, okay, I have this LFA fight if the fight doesn't go through, but somehow they pulled me from the LFA fight too. So.
Final question for you: what kind of fight are you anticipating against Ryan, and do you have a prediction for it?
Man, I think it's gonna be a 3-round. Actually, I'm gonna try to get him out of there the second round, but. I'm gonna push the pace. He's gonna push the pace. He's gonna probably be striking heavy. I know he's good on the ground too. So It's gonna be two well-rounded fighters. I feel like he's pretty well-rounded. Two well-rounded fighters trying to impose their will on each other, you know. But I'm definitely trying to get them out of there quick. Whether it be knockout, I've been working a lot of striking with. I actually received my black belt in kickboxing lately, so I got a couple new tools, you know, to put into effect, you know. So it'll be fun.
Raufeon Stots taking on Ryan Lilley at LFA 48 to go September 7th. Very interesting fight. So thanks so much for doing this, and best of luck in a few weeks' time.
Thank you. Thanks for the interview, man.